Hello, students. I am Tania Dash. I am the lecturer of Bethuatahuri College, Department of English. From the core of my heart, I express my heartiest greetings for your prosperous future life. And I wish to all of you a very happy new year. Today we have to read a new poetry named Caged Bird by Maya Angelou. First of all, it is very necessary for all of us to know about the poetess, especially about her career, her literary works. Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou is an acclaimed American poet, storyteller, social activist, and autobiographer. She was one of the leading American poetess of modern period, was born of Margaret Annie Johnson in St. Louis, Missouri on April 4th, 1928. She was the first female director, black director especially, but she got her publicity or her popularity as a writer, storyteller, essayist, playwright, and as a poetess. As a civil rights activist, Maya Angelou worked for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. Angelou's series of 7 autobiographical works focus on her childhood and early adult experiences of life. Among all these autobiographical work, her first autobiographical work is I Know Why the Caged Bird Is Sing. This autobiographical work discussed on various aspects of her personal life to the age of 17 years. Her another autobiographical works are The Heart of a Woman, Gathered Together in My Name, and Letter to My Daughter, etc. The poem Caged Bird by Maya Angelou was first published in her 1983 poetry collection Shaker, Why Don't You Sing? In Maya Angelou's Caged Bird, the poetess Maya Angelou uses two birds metaphors. Firstly, the free bird symbolizes white Americans or all free people who enjoys the freedom. On the other hand, the caged bird is a metaphor symbolizes oppressed black Americans who are kept captive through racist policies. Now, I try to discuss the whole poetry according to stanza wise. Um, Now we discuss the first stanza. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. In the very first stanza, the poetess Maya Angelou refers the nature. She describes how a free bird leaps on the back of the wind. She also describes that the free bird flies against the orange sunrise. By introducing the line that the free bird dips his wings in the orange sun rays, the poetess Maya Angelou helps the reader to emphasize and to appreciate the whole scenic beauty of the natural sky. By introducing the line dips his wings, the poetess Maya Angelou helps the reader to the appreciate the bird in his natural habitat, enjoying his freedom. Here, the bird is shown in a state of natural tranquility. The free bird enjoys its freedom because he is free both mentally and physically. It has a freedom to move, it has a freedom to move about wherever it desires. Now we come to the second stanza. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage, his wings are clipped, and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. Here the poet uses the contrast by presenting the situation of a caged bird. By introducing the conjunction but, the speaker introduces the contrast. Then she describes that a bird that stalks down his narrow cage. The tone is immediately and drastically changed from peaceful, satisfied and joyful to one that is unnerved and even frustrating. The caged bird's wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So, the caged bird has no capability to fly over the world according to his desires. Sometimes he opens his throat to sing. Actually, Maya Angelou is the representative of the black Americans who are deprived from getting any facilities in their life. They are deprived from getting any facilities in education, in socio economical aspects, etc. Maya Angelou tries to express his childhood periods, childhood life, about his childhood life, which are very frustrating. So sometimes she also opens her throat to sing. But the most important thing is that despite being in this utterly despondent predicament, the caged bird opens his throat to sing. It seems that it is the only joy and achievement for her life. Next, we come to the third stanza. The caged bird sings with a fearful thrill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The caged bird has a wavering voice. Out of fear, she tries to sing a song. There is a fear in his voice because she never get the taste of freedom and liberty, but her heart desire, but his or her heart desire to achieve the supreme state of freedom. His voice can be heard from the distant hill or the land where it inspires others to dream of freedom. The caged bird does not sing full of sadness, but of hope, inspiration, and of freedom. Now we come to the fourth stanza. The free bird thinks of another bridge, and the trait winds through the sighting trees, and the fat worms waiting on it dawn by it lawn, and he names the sky his own. The fourth stanza continues the parallel between the free bird and the caged bird. Here we see that the free bird thinks of another bridge. Actually, the free bird tries to enjoy uh, the freedom, just like Ulysses. Ulysses says that he he wants to live the life to the least. Just like Ulysses, the free bird tries to enjoy his or her freedom, and he's also waiting for the fat worms as his prey. The free bird thinks himself as the proprietor of the whole world, and he thinks that he will be the ruler of the sky also. Here we get the similarity between the condition of the fat worms with the condition of the caged bird. However, uh, uh, this similarity we find it's very similar. Uh, that a However, with a bird interrupted by a cage, the worms are the ones that have the freedom compared to the caged bird. Both fat worms and the caged bird condition are just similar. They have they never get the taste of freedom, although they have similarity, but sometimes their conditions are different from each other. But I search out the similarity between the fat worm's conditions with the uh, condition of the caged bird. Now we see the stanza 5. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream if his wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. In these lines, we see the realistic touch. It seems to us that the caged bird become realized the reality. And the reality is that the caged bird stands on the grave of dreams because he is not at all free but a captive or a prisoner. Thus, he stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. It is more pitiable, more adverse than a nightmare. It is just like a dream for him, which cannot be fulfilled in future. His movements are restricted with clipped wings and tied feet. There is a little voice, there is a little hope is present inside these lines, inside him. And for this reason, the caged bird opens his throat to sing and to give the message towards the people of the earth. And he raises his voices to emphasize the people for freedom, for liberty. Now we come to the last stanza, stanza 6. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The second stanza is the repetition work of the third stanza. Actually, here the poetess Maya Angelou tries to create the attention uh, to the idea of the caged bird singing for freedom. In the sixth stanza, we see the repetition, same repetition of the third stanza. So it is clear. It is clear to all of us that the caged bird never get the taste of freedom, but his hearts have the desires to get to enjoy the has the desires to enjoy the state of freedom. With this poetry, uh, if we analyze the whole poetry, I get the similarity with another work of with the work of Martin Luther King Jr. His well-known essay in his well-known essay "I Have a Dream," we see the same situation of the Black Americans. These Black Americans are suffered a lot. They never got any facility. They never get any facilities in their life, although they are the main inhabitant of this main inhabitant of uh, United States of America, but they are surprised by the white people of America. Actually, this poetry by Michelangelo uh, is a it's a Michelangelo expressed mm, actually Michelangelo is a representative of the black people of USA, and she sings a song against the racism, against the rules and regulations which are only used to snatch away the freedom, the sense of freedom, the taste of freedom and liberty of the common people. I think all of you now become able to realize the whole poetry. It's a very interesting poem. So, thanks to all of you. I think it will be very helpful for all of you to understand the whole poetry in short.